The following KQED production was produced in high definition.
Every single bite needed to be savory. There's Twinkies in there.
Wow.
It's like a great big hug in the cold city.
I mean, that food is about as spicy as I can handle, and my parents put chili powder in my baby food. Like,
And I sent French fry bits everywhere, all over the table, and just a lot of chewing. And
Okay, my stomach is growling right now. I just want you to know, I'm hungry.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. We have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. This week we have a vegetarian-friendly show. Football coach and CEO Mike DeMaria runs an orthopedic medical device company. He cinches himself up as he braces for new adventures in eating. As a vegetarian, he's all about supporting good food and wine. And financial advisor Kathy Curtis's motto is never to eat bad food. She's so committed to this end that she investigates any restaurant before venturing inside. She even volunteers her free time to plan food and wine programs for a local organization. But first, research scientist Suzanne Angeli theorizes on the perfect meal and investigates eateries searching for all the elements to make it. As a vegetarian looking for new taste sensations, she's found her eco-friendly spot serving innovative South Indian fare. It's on Fillmore in San Francisco, and it's called DOSA.
I'm Anjan Mitra, and my restaurant is DOSA. And we have 2 locations in San Francisco, one on Fillmore and one on Valencia Street. I grew up in Bombay, but there are about 1 million South Indians who live in Bombay. So a lot of these recipes come from my friends, my chefs' families, my family, and so on. So these are all like home-cooked recipes. A lot of them are very, very traditional approaches to these dishes. Sometimes we modify them a little bit. We use local ingredients.
My name is Emily Mitra, and I co-own DOSA Restaurants with my husband Anjan Mitra. So in building a restaurant, what we were inspired to do was really bring the colors from the palette of South Indian cuisine. We wanted to bring artwork and photography that was inspired by India. And we wanted to do an entirely green build-out, which is what we did at this location, DOSA on Fillmore.
DOSA is a very uniquely San Francisco restaurant in the sense that we focus on Southern Indian food. We use a lot of organic and sustainable ingredients, which is very unique for an Indian restaurant. And we are also the only Southern Indian restaurant in the Bay Area that serves non-vegetarian dishes. We also have a very strong bar program that incorporates a lot of the spices that we use in our food. And we have a wine list that's obviously tailored to our cuisine.
So Suzanne, this place focuses on South Indian cuisine, Southern Indian cuisine, doesn't it?
Right, so it's pretty unique compared to your Northern Indian cuisine or Pakistani. So a lot of people are familiar with their favorite curries or tandooris, but DOSA is Southern Indian, and so it has unique flavors that are specific. And the namesake DOSA, it has dosas, which are my favorite dish.
Sort of like crepes, like little pancake crepes.
So they're thin, crispy crepes. They're made of fermented lentils and rice, and they're crispy, and they usually come with a potato filling, which is the DOSA sort of wraps over it, and it's served with some dipping sauces, a sambar, a spicy lentil soup.
Right, their sambar, they're certainly known for this sambar that you can eat like a soup, but you can dip and
it's my favorite.
Dip your dosa.
Yes, you dip your dosa, and it also has a green coconut chutney and a tomato chutney. And so
now,
you
did you have the dosas?
I did. I had a samosa, the spring samosa. Is that the same as a dosa?
A samosa is different than a dosa.
It's different.
And I really enjoyed it. The vegetables are real crispy and perfect, but how is it different?
Well, the samosas, I guess, are the sort of a pocket versus the dosa is the sort of a big, long, crispy pancake.
Oh, okay.
Right. And what did you have when you went, Mike?
We had the veda paz, which was a slider, but it wasn't the typical slider with meat in it, and it had a dipping sauce, and it was part sauce, and then they called it gunpowder. It was a powder that you dip into it. So we poured the whole thing together, slopped it all over the slider there, and I wound up having to have 2 drinks because I had to use the first one to exhaust the flames from the bitter pods. But we also had the as you said, the fold over.
The DOSA.
Yeah, and it was the onion one where it was infused into the batter, and it was delicious.
Did anyone have any salads? Because I love their salads. They're seasonal as well as being very vegetarian friendly. And so last time we went, we had the watermelon paneer and sprouted mung bean salad, and it was amazing. The crunch of the sprouted mung beans with the sweetness of the watermelon and the crispiness of the paneer. It was.
See, that's I don't think about having a salad at an Indian place, but I will the next time. But what I loved the most was the lamb chops. Oh my God,
They're known for their lamb chops, certainly.
Tender. It was the most expensive dish on the menu, but we did it anyway, and we didn't regret it. They were tender and juicy and really, really nice.
Yeah, I brought lots of, like brought my parents and my in-laws, and they're meat eaters, and they've also enjoyed it, so.
I thought the spicing was perfect in every dish. That was my favorite thing about all dishes, is that the spice was unique and obviously really fresh.
And I think they focused on those spices. And you brought up cocktails, so I want to talk a little bit about cocktails because they use spices and unique flavors in their cocktails. So what were you drinking? Because you said you had a couple of them.
I ordered one ginger with, I think it was gin.
Ginger ante?
Yeah, that was the second one I had. What was the first one? The ginger.
Batsman?
The Batsman.
Yeah, it's like a lemonade iced tea with gin.
Right, they both have a ginger flavor to them, and they were delicious. They were very, very good.
And atmosphere and parking, you felt comfortable with all that? It's
right around
fairly
the corner.
upscale place.
Street parking, no problem. And I think it's like a nightclub. So it's a great place to go out if you want a night out on the town. There were a lot of couples there, like obviously on their first date, and a lot of groups having a lot of fun. So perfect for that.
Good to sit at the bar if you're single and, or
yeah, I like to go to the bar sometimes and just have a drink and a dosa. So I think you can go for both special occasion or, since I live nearby, on a Tuesday night. Yeah.
Once we got in, it was great. Tables are close together, and the positive side to that is you get good interaction there, and people that have been there, they tell you what their favorite dishes are.
It's kind of loud, but
it's a bit loud.
It is big. Yeah. If you want an intimate space, this isn't probably the place because the ceilings are very large.
Very big.
Yeah.
Now, Suzanne, this is your spot. Wrap it up for us.
Well, I'd say for a special occasion or if you're just in the neighborhood, it's an amazing value for fine dining, and you get to experience unique Southern Indian cuisine.
Okay, and Mike?
Again, the word is unique. I think it's just a great experience, different from most places you'll go to, and the food was delicious.
All right, and Kathy?
I'd say perfectly spiced Indian food and a great place to go if you want to feel like you're out on the town.
All right, if you would like to try DOSA, it's on Fillmore at Post in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-441-3672. It's open for dinner every day with lunch Wednesday through Sunday. Reservations are accepted, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $30. Bread and pasta is made every day at Mike's favorite spot. It's close to his home and the place for his favorite dishes. Known locally as Lopiccolo Italia, its menu tours Italy without leaving its location on Burlingame Avenue in Burlingame. And it's called Sapore Italiano Ristorante.
My name is Elio. This is Sapore Italiano. I own this restaurant with my 3 partners, Angelo, Mario, and Massimo. Sapore in Italian means, Italian taste. We want to bring, the taste of Italy in the peninsula. We make everything from the scratch here. Angelo, he makes the best pasta. It's like Italy. Mario, he got so much creativity in any dish. First of all the produce, they are local, from a local market. The chef, 4 or 5 times a week, he goes shopping and buy all the vegetables. And also all the other stuff, like oil, tomato, truffle oil, we all import from Italy. I miss my mom cooking from Italy. Mario and Angelo, they've been recreate for me the same dishes, very, very similar to my mom cooking. I want to take this opportunity to say thanks to all the customers. A big grazie. Venite a mangiare qua.
Now, Mike, you're a vegetarian and you have been for 35 years?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes? For health reasons, for taste reasons, for all of the above?
All of the above, yeah. I refer to myself as an overweight vegetarian. Yeah.
Well, I guess this is being bad, but I'm thinking football coach and, and vegetarian coming out of the
contradiction of itself, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know why. But, so this Sapore is your favorite place to go, and you've been going for years, haven't you?
Yes, the restaurant's, this November it'll be open 10 years, and it's just a great place. There's 4 owners. They're all born in southern Italy. One of the chefs is, both of them are culinary trained, but one was trained in Palermo, Sicily. And the further south you get in Italy, the more you get into the spices, and they just know how to cook. They have 8 pasta dishes on the menu.
And all the pastas are homemade?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. And they'll have alternative pastas if you're a vegetarian. And you don't want gluten-type product.
And the chef's wife is a vegan, right?
His wife is a vegan, right?
Okay.
So he is attuned to diet alternatives needed.
Yeah, I love Italian food, and usually Italian food offers plenty of vegetarian options. But I was surprised, actually, how many of the pasta dishes were all vegetarian. My favorite dish was my husband's dish. He got the capellini al pomodoro, so it was the angel hair pasta, and I thought it was well executed with the sweet tomato sauce and the perfectly cooked pasta. I did love the fresh pasta. I had the spinach and ricotta ravioli, and again, the pasta was very nice and fresh. I thought the filling was a bit bland, but my husband's dish sort of offset that.
I'll jump in here, Kathy. What was your experience?
The pasta was good. It was hot. We had a little issue with the pizza. We ordered a pizza, and it was cold. And, and so that was a little bit disappointing. And so when the pasta arrived, we were like, oh, good, this is a hot dish. And it had rock shrimp in it. The rock shrimp tasted fresh. But I can see where this restaurant, you would definitely want to stick with the pasta menu.
Yes.
And maybe not so much the other.
I agree, because actually our appetizer, we had ordered the polenta with mushrooms and gorgonzola, which we were really looking forward to. And then 15 minutes into our stay, they told us it wasn't available after we had ordered it. So we were really disappointed that we didn't get our appetizer.
Right. Yeah. And what did you have for an appetizer?
The carpaccio.
Okay. Now that's cold, by the way.
It was cold, and it's meat, cold and meat, and so it wasn't a vegetarian, but it was okay. But this is my one little complaint about that dish was the mustard they served on the side was French's mustard out of the bottle.
Oh.
Yeah. So that does not go with carpaccio in my lineup of things, so I was a little bit disappointed in that.
Is there something else that you would recommend that people try when they go?
Again, I'm a big pasta enthusiast. Then spaghetti aglio olio, which is olive oil, garlic, it's just wonderful. They have a vegetarian seccato, where it's a folded pasta, flat pasta, with a lot of vegetables inside of it, and that's very good also. They serve an antipasto that has just a bunch of wonderful things in it, And
you mentioned this place is owned by 4 friends. I mean, did you get that feel that this is sort of a home-style spot? How was things like, how were things like service?
I did see the table next to us, getting the chef coming out and saying, hey, how you doing? Unfortunately, I kind of felt my table was being ignored. I kind of didn't get that greeting, and we kind of had some blunders.
You need to go with Mike next time.
Yeah, we kind of had some blunders. We had the appetizer not come. Our waters weren't really being refilled.
That's similar with me, and I think it's a real insider restaurant. I think we're onto something here. If you know the owners, it sounds like you've been going there a long time. You probably get primo service, but we didn't get that great of service, and so maybe that's what they do. They pay attention to the regulars.
They brought us our check before we had a chance to order dessert. So we had wanted to order dessert. So yeah.
So what did you get for dessert? Speaking of dessert.
Yeah. So dessert, since I didn't have the appetizer, I was sort of still hungry. I wanted something else. So we got the homemade ice cream with hazelnuts and chocolate sauce. And we were really actually disappointed with what showed up because I wasn't sort of envisioning this mountain, a scoop of ice cream with chocolate sauce ladled over it. And we had a sort of a briquettes or little bricks of ice cream that had hardly any chocolate sauce, and it actually seemed freezer burned too.
Ooh.
It didn't seem homemade.
Now Mike's not tackling you yet, so obviously there's
so I don't know. Yeah, maybe the ice. Maybe you shouldn't go for the desserts there.
Right.
But
so do you have? I mean, you go all the time. Have you heard these experiences before, or is it just so the food is delicious?
I know they make that. They make
delicious.
that fresh. I usually get the tiramisu, which is made fresh every day, starting with the espresso that they make in their there, and there are a lot of regulars there. There are a lot of people that go back on a very regular basis. They are known entities, and you go back a couple of times and you become part of the family there. Usually Massimo and Ilio are the front end managers, and they'll greet you and bring you in and get to know you and
give you some wine.
And take care of things. And there's, as I said, there's 4 owners, so they all want you to have a pleasurable experience. Right. And they're feeding 4 families out of there, and it's a wonderful story of these 4 individuals that came over, opened this restaurant.
Next time you guys are going to go with Mike, I can say you're going to get the pasta, you're going to forget the dessert, you're going to go in on the arms of him.
Yeah, that's surprising you said that about that dessert, because I ordered that one too, and they make that fresh there too. So.
All right, Mike, this is your spot. Wrap it up for us.
Sapore means taste. The chefs there are both culinary trained. They will cater things to your wishes. So it is a family place, and it's just it's my favorite place.
All right. And Suzanne?
I'd say that there's probably lots of other Italian restaurants in the Bay Area that I'd prefer to try. So I probably would not make the trek down back to Burlingame.
And Kathy?
And I'd say if you're going to go there, go to the bar. It was very convivial and warm, and have a glass of wine because they had a fabulous Italian wine list. And maybe skip the food.
Okay, if you would like to try Sapore Italiano Ristorante, it's on Burlingame Avenue at El Camino Real in Burlingame. The telephone number is 650-348-3277. It's open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $30. Used to be that if wine came in a box or had a screw top, it meant stop, don't drink. Well, today, don't worry. The alternative packaging trend has transformed the wine industry, and you're now seeing high-quality wine in all shapes and sizes. Twist-offs or screw caps are a top closure for wine, keeping it fresh and vibrant. Boxes like these light, eco-friendly wines come in 3-liter sizes containing 4 bottles of wine. Some of these boxes cost upwards of $50. Boxes and even bags like this Astro pouch use technology to prevent air from getting to the wine, keeping it fresh for a month or so. So think inside the box and enjoy. Cheers. Vegetarians and omnivores share equal status with the inspired cuisine at Kathy's Pick. Sustainable ingredients, even at the bar, are gathered locally and presented with care. This eco-friendly spot can be found on Oxford in Berkeley at a place called Gather.
My name is Sean Baker. I'm the co-owner, executive chef of Gather Restaurant. Here at Gather Restaurant, we focus on Northern California cuisine. We work with several small farms. One farm grows specialty heirlooms from different parts of the world that you might not see at your local farmers markets, which makes our food a little bit more personal. With the exception of our ground beef, which we use for our burger, we buy our goats, lambs, young cows, chickens, rabbits, whole. We butcher them in-house. We utilize every single bit of that animal. Here we really embrace root to shoot cooking, where we are utilizing every single bit of the vegetable, the stalks, the roots, the flowers, the peels. The most inspiration that I get is from farms, seeing what they are doing, how they're doing it, the hard work that they put into it. That's what inspires the style of cooking we do here. So here at Gather, we try to really make sure that everybody at the table is treated with the same thoughtfulness. We want to embrace every dietary preference. We want the vegan to have the same experience as the omnivore. We want the gluten-free person to have the same experience as the lactose intolerant person. And we want people to feel a sense of where we live. We want to be eating food that's grown here and cooked with care. That's all.
Now, Kathy, it's all about organics and eating locally at Gather, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
really celebrating what's going on in our community.
Yes, I mean, if you want to know where something came from that you're eating at Gather, they will know. And if they don't know, they have this book that will tell you exactly where every ingredient came from. It's the most wonderful thing if you care about where your food's coming from and you care about what you put into your body. It's an incredible experience.
It's kind of a binder of what the farms it comes from, who's produced this.
And they try and stay very local in their food, their wine, their cocktails, everything that they serve. And you know what? It's not just about that, though. The food is so incredibly, amazingly creative. And the chef, Sean Baker, uses ingredients like nobody else. I mean, I really, truly am excited before I go there.
What did you have when you went, Mike?
I went all squash.
You went all squash?
Appetizer.
I thought you played football, not squash.
Oh, that too. And the appetizer was squash, as was the entree. And they were good. The food was very good. You could tell it was wholesome. You can tell it was organically oriented. And
Did you have the pizza with the squash?
No.
Oh, the pizza's so good.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pizza. I know you had
Yeah,
pizza.
I had the pizza, and I was a little disappointed with the pizza. So I had the vegan spicy tomato pizza, and I thought the crust was phenomenal. It was like, a perfect blend of crispiness and chewiness, but it was a spicy tomato pizza, and it wasn't spicy, and I thought the sauce was a little bit acidic, and I thought the cashew cheese was a little runny. And I've had vegan pizza before, and I love pizza in general, so it just didn't live up to my pizza standards.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, no, jump in there.
That's so interesting, because I went recently with a girlfriend, and she had that. She took one bite, she goes, oh my God, this is so good. So, she loved it. Absolutely loved that spicy tomato pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish there was more spice. I think that was the main thing for me. I didn't feel the spice, and I love.
And what else
I love
did
my
you guys
spice.
have?
I ordered a drink.
The drinks were.
You said at Sapore, go to the bar, not to the restaurant. And I would suggest the reverse over there, because they brought out a margarita type drink that had no taste whatsoever to it, and kind of was on the borderline of dishwater. You
should have had the bee sting.
That was the only disappointment that I had.
I liked the drinks. Yeah, I had a specialty cocktail. It had tequila and mezcal, and I thought the drinks were excellent. I really enjoyed the drinks. I had a vegan charcuterie.
Yes.
Really the highlight of the night for us. It was a new taste sensation. It was all vegan, so we prepared several ways. We had watermelon prepared several ways. So they had a prosciutto-like watermelon and a watermelon foam. They had this porcini and mushroom puree that had like a slice of a dehydrated mushroom, and it was like packed with flavor. And I felt like this sort of was approaching molecular gastronomy, which is like an area I've never eaten before. Right. So for me, that was a highlight, just having these new taste experiences.
I kind of got off on the decor. The seat there is made out of belts that are hooked together, and the tables were from bleachers from a high school.
Right.
Somewhere.
All reclaimed and reused.
Yeah, right.
I like the ambiance,
the lamps were fishnets from Thailand, but the disappointment in that was that we had to ask the waitress about it. I mean, I would think that would be something you could put on the menu to tell you about the recycling attitude of the whole place.
Because they're very into that, putting vegan. You can tell which is vegan.
Because I asked her, why is this called Gather? And when looking at the belts on the seat, and I said, does that have anything to do with putting a belt on and cinching yourself up? Is that what Gather means? Or what?
Well, in the
I don't know. You're talking about fishnet and Gather, and this is your restaurant, Kathy. Wrap it up for us.
Oh gosh. Okay. So Gather is so much more than just a meal. It's an exciting sensory experience in taste, sight, and texture of the food. When I go, I can't wait to go back, and I think most people feel that way.
Okay, Mike.
The food was good. I see this as a place more for the locals. I could see them catering to the Berkeley clientele. Traveling there just for the food would be a bit of a challenge. And I did enjoy it. If I was in the area, I'd probably stop in and try it again.
Okay, and Suzanne?
I completely support their mission statement. So if I were in the neighborhood, I'd go back and sit at the bar, have a drink, and have the vegan charcuterie.
All right, if you would like to try Gather, it's on Oxford at Alston Way in Berkeley. The telephone number is 510-809-0400. It's open every day for lunch and dinner with brunch on the weekends. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $30. Well, I have to thank my guests on this week's show. No fighting, that was good. Suzanne Angeli with a taste of southern India at her pick of DOSA on Fillmore in San Francisco. Mike DiMaria taking us around Italy with the menu from Sapore Italiano Ristorante in Burlingame. And Kathy Curtis, who brought everyone together for local ingredients at Gather in Berkeley. Don't forget that you can go to our website at kqed.org/checkplease to add your comments on today's show. You'll find more details on all the restaurants featured, and you can watch a segment or download a whole show. It's where you'll find my notes on the wines that we're tasting today and videos about wine. And if you really want to stay in touch, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. So don't forget to join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I hope to see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.
This show is available in high definition, Comcast On Demand, and via podcast. For additional information on the restaurants featured, to comment, or to apply to be on the show, go to our website at kqed.org/checkplease.
A KQED HD production.